And welcome to this Blue Star Careers webinar today. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Laura Torres. Today we are continuing on with the discussion on Cybersecurity Awareness Month. We have a very special guest panel, as you can see. They're already here with us today, who's going to steer the conversation. We have, of course, all of the learning opportunities, the talking points, but also we have additional resources for you in the Blue Star Careers group in the neighborhood. That's where you can locate all the resources to secure your cybersecurity pathway if this is something of interest. But today let me just tell you who do we have here with this beautiful smiling faces we have here in our already screen. We have Miss Brittany Fox Blackwood, who is an Army military spouse, cybersecurity learning enthusiast, as well as Benjamin Saldana, who is an Air Force military spouse, cybersecurity specialist, and our Blue Star Families Deployed Fellow. So let's welcome them and learn more about how this particular industry made it so attractive for them to join and just really path their own career trajectory towards cybersecurity career opportunities. I mean, I don't know how to say it, guys. This is such a great topic that I think we'll be learning more and more all month long. Welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Thank you for having us, Laura.
Thank you. I'm
Absolutely.
happy to be
Thank
here.
you. And thank you so much for engaging with us. I know we experienced a little bit of tech issues, which happens, and that's why I'm so glad that you guys are here to provide additional feedback and guide us. And we look forward to all future more superpowered learning in cybersecurity and technology and everything that you will come back later on and share with our community. But let's get to know you first a little bit more. So Brittany, why don't you tell us a little bit more about yourself? What do you do? When do you wake up? What do you eat for breakfast besides cybersecurity knowledge? Tell us all about you.
Well, as of late, that's exactly what I've been doing is waking up and eating cybersecurity for breakfast. I'm actually currently in a security training scholarship by Women in Cybersecurity and SANS that I did get from Blue Star's Family's Career. So that's one of the things you always got to look out for in the events, or make sure you're following Laura because she's always posting those things.
Oh, thank
But
you.
yeah.
Thank you for the shout out.
They
Yeah.
got always. But yeah, I've been a military spouse for 12 years. As you said, I'm an Army spouse. And yeah, this year is the year that I decided I'm going to take the leap of faith and get into tech. And that's what I've been doing.
Awesome. And we'll come back to you and ask you why cybersecurity, but hold that thought right there. Hold it before you sell us versus anything else in the technology world. But let's welcome Benjamin. Ben, how should we address you, Benjamin?
Anything's fine.
Perfect.
Um,
So anything, tell us about you and your career pathway. Thank you so much for being here, taking time out of your busy schedule.
well, thank you. And thank you for inviting me. And as you can see, I'm Benjamin Saldana. So I am the Deploy Fellow here at Blue Star Families to help with their cybersecurity. I am an Air Force veteran and Air Force spouse. My spouse is currently active duty out here in OKC. When I served, I was security forces, so I did security for nuclear weapons, and that kind of led into a career where I wanted to be in security in some way. So it really helped out. I used my GI Bill and I got a bachelor's in IT. And then from there, I've worked several contracts with a few government agencies. I worked for Veterans Affairs and the Federal Aviation Administration. So I've done a lot of IT support and networking and cyber for them. And it just kind of built a career to where now I have the degree and the certifications. And I'm using that to come to Blue Star Families to help them out because they're a great organization that has so many great resources and are helping out our military community. So I want to do everything I can to support them in the best way I can.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your career trajectory as well. And thank you for your service. Now you are on the other side. Now you see us. You see our reality through the military spouse lens. So thank you for supporting as well. Now, I do want to put it out there for, any of you, both of you guys, anyone can take this, but just when you were picking or continuing on with your career trajectory, what was the most challenging aspect for you trying to figure it out where you saw yourself? So why cybersecurity?
So for me,
Yeah.
cybersecurity just kind of works for my brain. As I said, I just dove into tech this year. I've been a tech enthusiast my entire life. I'm really nerdy. I like to figure out, especially computers, how they work. I'm a first generation American. My parents both immigrated to this country. So it wasn't ever something that was ever pushed like seriously. But my dad actually was big into technology and got a computer science degree. But as I said, it's not something that was like pushed on us or like, hey, this is a field that you should get into now. Um, so for me, as a person who's not having any type of background, I've just been amazed at how much I'm soaking up the knowledge and how much I get it because I've been such a tech enthusiast my entire life. So it's been really great maneuvering this and getting doors open for me through my connections in cybersecurity, just being an enthusiast and doing all the things, getting into the community, the discords, the forums, different organizations like Women in Cybersecurity, like Black Girl Hacks, like yeah, just a whole bunch of other ones. There's a Breaking Barriers and Women in Cybersecurity. So those are all the things that I've been doing, and I've just been finding I've been loving it, and this is where I'm supposed to be.
Fantastic. Thank you. I'm not going to ask you to pick favorites, but probably towards the end, I will ask you about your other learning experience here through the neighborhood as well. But Ben, we want to hear from you as well. How was you selecting to go back, given that you did have a previous experience you mentioned in security forces. So coming back to cybersecurity, why? Why this field versus, I don't know, going out to do sales or maybe go out to do other things?
So it actually kind of went hand in hand. So I did do that security. And then after I got out, I tried to continue to be a police officer, but then I just found myself just so interested in learning and, you know what I mean, and doing more stuff. And as I got into my bachelor program, just all the information that was available and just how interesting it was to me. I'm one of those people that I graduated high school. I was a mediocre student, and then I go to college for IT, and then I graduate with honors because it's so interesting. This stuff is great and it's fun to learn, and there's just so much to it. So I just kind of found that niche that I really enjoyed, and I continued. And then as I've done my career, security has been something that's always been in the background for me. So then to do that in a technology sense just made sense. I did the tests, I did the studying, and it's like, oh, I know what that is. I know what this is because I did. I had done that in the physical realm. And now in the technology realm, it's the same thing, just different ways that we execute it. So it just really lended itself well to that career progression. And I think one of the big things that I loved about technology, just like Brittany said, is the learning aspect. I have a very similar mind where I love to continue to just, whatever I can get my hands on and a new course here and just see what's always available. And things are always changing. And it's like a puzzle, that you always are having to figure out what piece went where and why one went left and trying to put it all back together so that you can have a good solution. So, and one of the big things that I really like about technology is helping people. There's a huge thing. I mean, I see cyber as like the internet police. That's how I view it. So it's kind of like that realm of I want to help people, I want to protect people. There's a lot of bad actors out there that just the simplest things can, help stop them or help, make them move on to the next person. So I just think helping others and especially just tech literacy is huge. Just allowing people to just understand just the tiny bit more kind of how they use their devices and how they can use them better.
Fantastic. I'm getting very excited, guys, because I don't know if you heard, but I'm trying to use or do the Fortinet boot camp that we starting next week. So I'm going to test my ability to stay actively engaged for the next 9 weeks and just learn the basics. No way would I ever be at your at your level, but just so that I get to do a little bit of more, be able to have coffee with you and talk about, I don't know, cybersecurity trends or something like that. But I look forward to that because it sounds really exciting, especially the way, you guys are all both are engaging differently, but also it's really meeting your career pathway, your mission, your long, sort of a vision on your career pathway, which, wants me to know more about what is it that you're currently learning. So, Brittany, what are you learning? And you mentioned, Girls Who Hack. You mentioned women in cybersecurity. You mentioned a couple of things. So what are you currently learning? Where are you getting sidetracked with all of your great enthusiasm?
Okay, so it's funny that you said that you kind of feel like, it's a lot and it's overwhelming. And, for me, especially going through the security scholarship training, it's really like a boot camp. The first stage was a CTF, and it was a 60-hour CTF, and I was at my computer for 60 hours. If I wasn't sleeping or using the bathroom or trying to eat a little bit, I was at my computer doing the CTF. And like I said, I don't have a security background. I don't have you know, the scholarships, or not the scholarships, but I don't have like the degrees or the professional. So I felt really out of place. And it was the CTF was 1,500 people, and I came 241st. So for you, Laura, don't feel like you're out of place or this is out of, it's really a slow and steady, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. But even though 60 hours CTF can feel like a sprint, it's really, you got to use the time management. Okay, how can I solve this first? And how can I use this, what I know to figure something else out? So it's really something that you got to trust in yourself to do. And that's something that I'm learning right now, my second stage with women in cybersecurity. But for me, BlueStars has kind of been throughout the path. That's if it wasn't for BlueStars careers, I'm really not trying to sell it. But if it wasn't for Blue, I probably wouldn't be here because I first got there with the Udemy. I think it was like a free Udemy year free of Udemy courses. And I did coding, and I found out coding was not for me, just like you. So it's like trying the things and figuring out what's worked for you. And then the Google cybersecurity course, I'm telling you, Blue Stars has been there. And now, because of Blue Stars, again, I'm with the Women's in Cybersecurity and SANS. So it's really one thing you got to always look out for is those events and getting the learning and just really being confident in myself. So doing that and seeing that hey, it doesn't really matter. And that's what's so great about cyber. It's like always, yes, the learning too, because I love to learn, but cyber is like, you can come from anywhere. And then it's the saying that you have to just have the hacker mindset. And I think that's what I definitely have. I have a hacker mindset. So, and that's why I think I take so fondly to, especially ethical hacking and pen testing. But doing all of this, I do find that I do like blue teaming a lot. So maybe I'll be a purple teamer. So that's where my path is. And thanks to Blue Stars, I've kind of like narrowed down exactly what I want to do. So the next year is looking great for me.
Well,
We're
congratulations.
great.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And when you were talking about hacker, I was thinking, does that translate to rule breaker? Because definitely I'm a rule breaker. No, no, and I'm glad that you said, trying or testing a little bit of different things throughout the technology pathway because it's huge. It's so complex. There's so many different learnings, so many different areas of interest. I did try coding too a while back. I attended a weekend, sort of a hackathon or a coding, whatever boot camp. And I was lost. And I was like, okay, this is not for me. I'll stick to workforce development because I love, just like you, putting together puzzles, but more for me, it's more like career pathways. If you do this, then this will lead to this and this will lead to that. And if you add this training, this will complement to this other promotion or these other things. And I love working that aspect of workforce development. So, but I can see how cybersecurity could be so complementary to just putting together an overall just a vision board into catching bad actors, right, Ben? So putting all to that together, which sends me to ask you, what are you learning? What are you currently right now diving? You already got your full training in a comprehensive educational setting. You got some certifications, but now how do we tap what you already have and through more learning?
Okay, so right now, currently, I'm doing more hands-on experience with the women in cybersecurity. Their second stage is Try Hack Me, and I've done Try Hack Me before, but again, collating with all my learning, I now more understand it. So right now, we're doing network security, and again, in cybersecurity, it's a bit of a little bit of a lot of things that you have to
Got it.
know. There's a little bit of a lot of things. So yeah,
Perfect.
that's what we're learning right now. And then I'm doing the IT support on the side, the IT Google support on the side as well. So it's just a lot of things, and I feel like especially learning about the hardware is helping me in my career path with the help desk that I got as a government contractor. So, woo me.
Awesome. Good job. Congratulations on that. What about you, Benjamin? Where are you spending all of your free hours when you're not sleeping? How are you learning? How are you keeping up with your enthusiasm, with your trends, with cybersecurity? Yeah, and catching bad actors and all of that good stuff.
Well, I think I will say one of the big things is I will say, Laura, I applaud you because that is really the first step. You know what I mean? Is just taking the chance. Is it going to work out? Do I like this or not? Just like you guys talked about coding. I don't like coding. I don't enjoy the languages as much. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I'll figure it out, but it's not my forte. It's not something on my strength. So just feeling things out is amazing. And just, you know what I mean? There's a dozen different pathways you could go. You know what I mean? Even in cyber, there's a dozen different. You could be a white hat hacker or a black hat if you want to go that side, or you could do an analyst, or you could do, you know what I mean, like governance and compliance and government stuff. And there's just so many pathways, and even engineering on the back end in cyber. So there's just so many pathways and so many places you can go. And even as Brittany said, there's a lot of stuff. That's why Brittany's stuff sounds amazing because one of the things that I would recommend as you start to learn is you have to get some foundationals. You can't secure what you don't know. And that's the biggest thing is like just understanding how does a network work? How does a computer work? How do these things come together? You know what I mean? Like where is the breakage and where can people get in and where can they cause problems? And just getting those basics are huge. I know for me as like an actual practitioner, because when I worked at the FAA for federal aviation, I actually started as a network operation tech. And so I learned all about their network over 8 months. And then once I proved myself, then they allowed me to move up to the cybersecurity. But it was true that they wanted me to know exactly the full scope of the environment and the tech stack of what we were dealing with before they said, let's come on the back end and secure it. So I always encourage that, get the basics down and get to understand some of the lower end stuff and make sure that you have a good understanding so that when it comes to securing it, you're like, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, that's how, oh yeah, the seven layers of the network, so you just understand a little bit more. So that's really great. I know from my side, it does change a little bit once you do get to this side because you are always in a constant learning state. If you stop, you kind of fall behind a little bit. So there is a constant. Some of the things I would recommend is I know I have a couple of newsletters that I subscribe to, and those are always great. A morning read, what happened to Twitter today, what happened over here, was there a breach? Just different little, just so you stay up to the news of cyber and technology is always good. For right now, what I'm really learning about is Blue Star families. And I'm learning about now that I'm within their environment, I'm kind of their managed security professional. So I'm just trying to figure out how to do best help them. So what that entails for me is admin training for most of their applications. So Salesforce, Snowflake, their data lake, Google Workspace, and Google Cloud, and being an admin. So it requires being an admin in all those spaces and knowing in a security mindset what boxes you need to check and what things you need to do. So I have admin training for all of those. I also signed up for Fortinet. I think I'm doing their networking basics, which is always great. I am Network Plus certified, which is a government cert through CompTIA. I already am completely certified, but in my mind, it doesn't hurt to go back and hit those again. Maybe, maybe there's something I missed about IP or transmission control protocols that maybe they're going to tell me a little better. And on the back end, I'll get a lot better understanding. So I'm in that. I'm also in a Fortinet Zero Trust through IM provisioning. I really wanted to do that one. That one's really big, especially as you are an analyst or an expert. You really want to make sure that you understand those type of things of how the user can also get access to different things. So just that continuous learning. And then one of the big things that I'm really big on is the cloud. And so I have a training module that I'm going through right now. It's for DevSecOps, which is development and operations, and in the middle you put security. So you're always security mindseted through development all the way to operations. And so I do that through Code Cloud. So I'm doing a Google one. I'm also doing AWS, but they are similar to, like Brittany said, like a try hack me, where you get the practical, like hands-on understanding, and you actually get to go through and do a few modules and touch a few things and just see how they work, break a few things for fun, and then fix them and see what happens. Because I've tried try hack me and hack the box, and they're great platforms as well. Anyone who's trying to get in. But the main thing that I would say is, and I know Brittany will understand this as she continues, is when you're trying to get into this field, You want those touches on the programs. You want the experience to say, I have used Putty. Yes, I have remoted into the different things. Yes, I have done this. And then that way, when someone looks at your resume or sees what you've been doing, they can see all the programs you've used, and you've been an admin, and you've done this on Windows systems. And you just really get those touches and that experience on different programs and systems. And it'll just really make you shine, and people will know that you have experience and you know what you're doing.
Fantastic. Wow. You just completely downloaded a huge
Mhm.
outlook of what amazing career trajectories could look like when you do your homework and you really know and you are enthusiastic about your pathway, which the both of you are. All these great knowledge that you guys are all going through as you continue to navigate your career. And the beautiful part is, it's just getting started, right? In a way, with some of these great engagements and things that you are doing on your own, but also through your work and through your work opportunities. So, and I like that how you also said, Ben, that you are trying this fundamentals, because who knows, you might pick up another one or two more new things, or maybe just get a refresher and update of things that maybe perhaps you already did but you forgot, or you just kind of put them out there on the shelf. And every also training, every organization kind of does things a little bit different, so it's always good to just explore it if you have the time. But the main thing I think with any career pathway, just so that anyone knows, especially within cybersecurity, is just, do a little bit of your homework and then take those initial just pathways or experiences, mild achievable trainings that you can just get your foot in the door, test it, and if that's not for me, then just go on and spend better time somewhere else, because once you get into it, then it will continuously keep you growing, and I imagine just keep you pull you into a much greater solid career foundations that you will have immense growth. Which, talking about growth and future trajectories, I want to ask you so that we can close it up, but I do want to ask our members who are watching and who are also out there, listening to you guys, and to your great enthusiasm for cybersecurity, as we're celebrating Cybersecurity Month this month through all Blue Star Careers. So please meet us in the neighborhood. That's where you'll locate all of our current employer partners, but also our cybersecurity training partners that we can refer you. You can invest time, explore different opportunities, and then we'll be there side by side with you to support you along the way. So make sure that you reach the neighborhood, but also post your comments, post your questions for Brittany, for Ben, anything that we can share with you. We'll go back and we'll make sure that we answer those for you. We monitor those as well. But the best way is also you can find them in the neighborhood. Both of them are there. And so they're active and you can locate them under the member profile. All right. So just to be mindful of your time. So thank you so much for donating and sharing here your not only your knowledge, but also your insights about your own career pathway. I want to put you both on the spot and just put, what's your call to action? How can we all, as a community, and of course, listeners here, how can we help you achieve your career goals? What's next for you? How can we all just be involved, either through LinkedIn, be cheerleaders, connect with you, or how can we, again, just support you?
Well, for me, I would say definitely you can connect with me on LinkedIn. It's Brittany Fox Blackwood. It's a really long name. You just search me up there and you can find me. But for me, I would say keep doing the things like yourself, Laura. Don't be afraid to get into cybersecurity because it's needed. More eyes are needed, especially in these times. The more people that we can get adept and learning behind the scenes of computer, because it's only going to get more technological in the future from here. So get into tech, get into any sort of area of tech, because the more experienced people that we have here, the better it is could be for the rest of us.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that and reminding us that we're all in this together. That's really, we're all in this together. So how about you, Ben? What's your call to action? How can we all support you and also ensure that you reach your career goals?
And I mean, I think Brittany and I are on the same page here because I agree. Yeah, come connect. And especially come take a course, come try it out. It doesn't matter what you have as a history or what you have done before. Just come try any of these out, especially like we talked about the neighborhood and the events and the Blue Star families. They have a lot of amazing resources, whether it's Empower, SkillBridge, or even if Fortinet or any of these offerings, they're amazing. And they're really nice light touches where you can see, okay, do I like this? If not, then sign up for something else. That we have 10 different offerings through Google. Just come out, come see, because that would help us all out a lot. The more we know about technology, I think it helps us all out. One less person that's insecure on the web could help us. You know what I mean? It's just one less person we have to worry about. So, but also, in this career field, I agree with what Brittany said. We have a lot of need. We need people in this career field, and we need people that want to be here and want to learn more about tech. So if you're interested, definitely come out. There's job openings every day that aren't going to be filled. So you could be the next one to fill it and be the next cyber hero. So yeah, definitely come join us. And I know as the cybersecurity fellow, I'm hoping to do a lot more here at Blue Star Family. So come join the community. Maybe we can create a community of cyber understanding and training and everything here at Blue Star Families, and just really up this training and make sure that it can reach as many people as possible.
There you go. Thank you so much for sure. Join the Blue Star Careers community in the neighborhood. That's where all the action is taking place. But also, we're building a one-stop shop resource hub for you. And slowly, we're testing things out. We are, engaging with our members directly to make sure that it's working for you, but not just for you now, but also you from forever and ever. As long as the neighborhood there's life and there's also career interaction. So thank you so much, team, for being here with us today. Thank you for allowing us to record your experience, to document your career pathway, but most importantly, to follow up in the near future as well with you and check in to see where you made it by the end of the year, where you made it next year, where you at. And then don't forget to come back, please, and share your wisdom with our community members as well and share updates. We love to be able to stay on track with that. So thank you so much for watching. And for those of you who are live on the comments on LinkedIn, on Facebook, please continue to post your questions and comments, and we'll ensure that Brittany or Ben or our community members in the neighborhood makes it all the way to you. So